Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on the 199th episode of Quarantine Edition. Holy shit, we really out here, aren't we? What's that mean? I don't know. It just feels like we fucking out here. Tomorrow is the 200th episode of Live at the Roxy during quarantine. We had been doing Live at the Roxy prior to quarantine, but since we have been in quarantine, we have gone live 200 days in a row, which is fucking insane. And that will be tomorrow. I've got a couple fun things planned for you guys. Winston Marshall is going to pop through. Steph Sabra is going to pop through. My brother's going to pop through. I've been asking a couple of the people who have been on multiple times. I asked Dee. We'll see if she's able to. If there's other people you think should pop through for 5-10 minutes just to say what up, let me know. But we definitely going to have a good one tomorrow. Oh boy, come hell or high water, we will do our 200th fucking live during quarantine episode. And I'm really glad that the 200th one isn't today, because I don't know how we do a really fun show today after last night's actual dumpster fire event. I told you guys it was must-see TV. Some of you guys disagreed with me, but I feel more certain than ever now that it was absolutely must-see TV. That presidential debate was fucking trash for 5,000 reasons. I'm going to talk about my feelings on it, really breaking it down. I would love to hear your feelings on it. I'm sure you've been talking about this to death, but maybe we'll have some new revelations here on today's show. And also, how can we really talk about that much else when this is what's going on in our worlds? This is what's happening here, at least in the United States. This is the fucking thing that's taking place. So we'll be talking about that. But it isn't the only thing that we will be talking about. We're also going to talk about Iman Vellani, who, this is exciting news, is playing Miss Marvel. A complete newcomer, fresh face, new to the industry. So fuck yeah, let's do it and break down Iman. And then Borat 2 is coming to Amazon Prime. This is the shocking movie that was filmed that none of us knew was being filmed until it was already in the can. We talked about it on this show, but holy shit, we're going to be seeing it on Amazon Prime. This is truly wild. As always, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, *** for killing Breonna Taylor, *** all three of them. ***, and what about that Judge Doe? Because can we look into that? What the fuck was there a no-knock warrant for? You are at fault as well. Oh boy. Am I extra loud for you guys today? Because it's loud in my motherfucking ears. Let's turn this shit down. Also, I have a Schmodown shoot after this that I'm highly nervous for. So I'm probably going to be doing my makeup during this show a little bit. We shall see. Thank you in the super chat to Jig Yoda. Shout out Jig Yoda. Appreciate your support. Jig Yoda is always in here showing support, and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you. Thank you. Also, in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. That is the best way to financially support me, as they take the least percentage of the money that you guys give in support. I already see a few things have come in between yesterday's show and today's show. Let's start with Katie the Good Witch, who submitted this late last night saying, regarding Delonte West, I know this sounds like a humble brag, but I recently gave $20 to a lady who was asking for money and asked her if she'd let me buy her lunch and coffee. Her story made me realize I'm like one wrong step from being in her position, and we're the same. Doesn't sound like a humble brag to me at all, Katie. I think a lot of us look at people and feel that way. People who are in certain positions, and it's like if we had just made a couple different decisions in our lives, we could have easily been in those positions. It's just why it's so important to open your hearts as much as you can, to try to be empathetic and sympathetic where you can't be empathetic, and understand life is fucking hard and we're here to help. So Katie, I love that you did that, and I just love your energy always. Katie for the win. Texas Teacher is back, guys. Texas Teacher, this came in from Texas Teacher at 5:45 in the morning. There's a couple of them. Let's see what's going on with our friend. Hey, Roxy, still taking it one day at a time and coming up on 2 weeks. Texas teacher that flew. Those 2 weeks flew on by. Yesterday, my school had 4 students and 2 teachers put in quarantine for showing COVID symptoms. They cleaned the room and got the kids and adults home after they got tested. And then it says parentheses, con. I don't know what that part means. But the only reason I heard about it was because one of my friends is on the response team. They didn't tell the teachers, which really upset me. My school district is trying to get us killed, but at least football is still going. Priorities, thoughts. And then Texas teacher said, hello, Roxy. Along with teaching English, I am also a debate coach. What I witnessed was not a debate. Okay, well, we'll get to that one in a second, actually. So let's stay on these for Texas teacher. I think it's fucked up that they're not being transparent with you. Absolutely. If people are being quarantined because they have COVID symptoms, you guys should be aware of that, especially so you don't bring it home to your loved ones or contract it yourself, or you can be extra safe during these times. I think they're probably trying to make it so people don't panic. I don't think they're trying to kill you. I think that they're trying to keep everybody calm, but at the same time, transparency is what will keep people calm. Truth, honesty, that's what keeps people calm, so they don't feel like they're being lied to. So maybe talk to the school district and explain to them that you're a big enough person to handle if there is a scare, but you're not going to handle it well if you are being lied to. So see if maybe you can construct some change there in your system. I'm so happy to hear that you are almost coming up on 2 weeks. I know it is one day at a time, but we have so much love for you, Texas teacher. And we are here supporting you. And just like Katie the Good Witch said that it could have been her, I see so many times where addicts or people who are struggling with substances, that could have been me. So, and has been at times in my life. So I just have so much love and appreciation for the struggle that you're going through and your drive and determination to overcome. And I'm really proud of you. So thank you for joining us today. Texas teacher also went on to talk about the debate, saying, along with teaching English, I'm a debate coach. What I witnessed was not a debate. It wasn't any of the 15 debate events I coach. It was madness. I don't understand why they use another word or use the debate rules. Stop spreading. Stop spreading is just the end of it. Yeah, Texas teacher, it definitely was not a debate. It was a something else. It was certainly a something else. And we will break all of that down here. A few more things coming in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Morse code Z says, welp. I did ask if it was in Biden's interest to even have a debate. Pretty much exactly what I expected. Couldn't watch more than a few minutes. Haven't been relying on reviews like here for headache, or have been relying on reviews like here for less headache inducing summaries. Yeah, totally. Well, I'll give that to you. I don't know if that it will be less headache inducing, but I'll do my very best. Rob Fishbeck in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, one of two, hey, Roxy and the rock stars, in preparation for tomorrow's 200th show since quarantine, I will be dropping a highlight reel later today to get everyone pumped for the show. Roxy, you are the realest. Thank you for being there for all of us. Oh my God, you're going to make me cry, Rob Fishbeck. A highlight reel is so freaking cool. Also, with everything that's going on in the world right now, I wrote a new song that we'll be putting out later tonight. It's for everybody, but the rock stars were my inspiration to write it, with the great community we have and dedicated to you, Rocks. Rob Fishbeck, you are such a dear. We're so happy to have you in the Rockstar community and in the World Friends community as well. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to see the highlight reel. That is so freaking cool. In addition to what you just said, I did see, Rob Fishbeck, that in the Patreon you had asked a question for my brother, but it was once the show had already started and I hadn't refreshed it. So I'm sorry that I didn't get to that for the $10 up tier. Usually I get to all of those, but I didn't see it till afterwards because it was once the show was in progress. So I just wanted to apologize to you for that, but I did see it and I appreciate you. And you are super duper loved by all of us here. Thank you to Jake Yacovetta, who put our Streamlabs link in here, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, and Brandy, our other amazing mod, saying have a good stream. Thank you, Brandy. She's got a migraine, so she can't stick around, but we're just happy that you stopped by. I don't know for people with a migraine if this is the show that you're going to want to be watching, because we for sure are going to be talking about some migraine-inducing bullshit. Any thoughts you guys have, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer or right here in the super chat. Get those in as we continue to talk about the motherfucking bullshit that was last night. This is a good time to put some toner on my face. This is a good fucking time to do that. All right. Let's do it. Let's talk about last night's debate. Let's talk about the highs, the lows, the fuck knows. Starting with the highs, there weren't many. There really, truly weren't many. I will say that one of the highs was that, Biden has a tendency to say things that make him sound like an ass. He said some things that people have deemed to be sexist or racist or whatever in the past. I don't mean whatever to put it lightly. I'm just saying he has said some things. He didn't say any of those last night, so that's good. He was able to look down the barrel of the camera and directly speak to the people at times, so that's good. He didn't raise his voice too loud or freak out the way that many of us would if Donald Trump was speaking to us the way that he was speaking to him. So that's good. He didn't actually fall asleep. So sleepy no mo Joe Biden. So that's good. I guess those would be all of the pros, because I don't really know many more pros than that. Those seem to be kind of the only things that I can think of that were kind of positive. Did anybody else have any pros? Some of Biden's answers, I guess, were okay. Some of them were good-ish. Yeah, Gregory Castillo says, will you shut up, man? Biden was a highlight. Yeah, to me, my favorite line of the debate, the best part of the debate, was when Biden said, it is what it is because you are who you are. That was so powerful and poignant for me, because I don't think that just has to do with Donald Trump. That's such a Roxy advice corner moment. That's so true. And all of the times we hear friends, family members, teachers, enemies, frenemies, whoever it is, say it is what it is. Very rarely it is what it is just because. It is what it is because you are who you are. Like, that's something that I think a lot of people don't take responsibility for their cause or their part in a situation. And it isn't just, if there are 200,000 people in America who have died from COVID, it isn't just, it is what it is. It is what it is because you are who you are. And that is so true. And I honestly am going to start using that towards people who say it is what it is, when it's a situation where it only is what it is because you are who you are, mother effer. So I thought that was definitely a strong suit, and definitely a strong sentiment. And I was glad he said that. And then he tweeted it out several times as well. Biden tweeted a ton last night after the debate. If you didn't check it out, he was a tweeting machine last night. So that was good. Yeah, Brittany says, Joe made a few good points. If you were overwhelmed, I'd recommend reading the transcript. One of the things that I thought was a bummer, because I obviously am voting for Joe Biden, so I wanted him to be successful in this debate. One of the things I thought was a bummer was that he kind of can't hang. I do think that Donald Trump, despite being a bully and a piece of garbage and talking over him last night, I thought he was a stronger debater. He's certainly a better performer, and I think he was a better debater. Even though he whines like a baby, he is able to grab people and make them listen. Biden's demeanor does not do that, and Biden also went off topic so many times, probably because it's very hard to stay on your train of thought or topic when there's somebody yelling at you and interjecting every effing second. But Biden couldn't keep his train of thought. he kept saying things like, by the way, or whatever, when he would change topics, and then he couldn't figure out where he was going. He forgot what Donald Trump's question was at some point and had to re-ask the moderator. A lot of his sentences were cut off and he couldn't finish it. And yes, he couldn't get a word in. So that was why. But he knew going into this debate that that's what it was going to be like. And I feel like when he finally did get his time back, instead of making his points crystal clear, he spent time being like, well, Trump doesn't know how to do that. Or are you going to let me talk? Which I get. And I almost wish he jabbed back at him even more. Like, that's why it was so great when he said, would you shut up, man? That was really awesome because we all were thinking that. But he also repeated himself a lot. He would repeat the same sentence multiple times. It was really challenging. That also doesn't mean, by the way, your ability to debate and your ability to be the president of the United States, there is a correlation, but it's not everything. Just because Biden is not a great debater does not mean he won't be a really good president. He is shown that he will listen to his people. He's shown that he cares what us people think, and his cabinet would think. He also has a sweet way about him. He seems like he has a kind soul and empathy for people, and those things will probably lead him to be a strong president. The way that Donald Trump was debating was showing that he is not able to be a good president. He's just a better performer. He's a louder performer. He's a more enticing performer. But that doesn't mean that he'll be a good president. In fact, we know he's a trash president. And you could tell by the way he was debating, he's a bully. He yells over you. He believes volume is the biggest strength that he has. He's not listening to your points or responding to them at all. He's not answering the actual questions. He's just getting in his own agenda. But I really did think that, and right now I'm just talking about the first part of this, the first half hour, I thought that Donald Trump wiped the floor with Joe Biden. As the show went on, as the debate went on, Joe Biden kind of grew into his power and did a better job. He figured out how to kind of work the system and work around Trump and got a little more focused and read his points. His numbers were all over the place. He often corrected himself, but it was tough because even if Biden was saying the right things, it was hard for us to even hear what they were. I blame everybody in this situation, especially Trump, but Wallace as well. I thought that he was not a good moderator. I don't know what it would have taken for him to be a better moderator, because unless you're able to literally go up on stage or cut his mic, I don't know how you stop Trump from doing what he did last night. I don't know that you can. I think that for the second debate, not the second debate that's the vice president debate, but the second presidential debate for the town hall, that might be a better forum for both of them, specifically for Biden, because he'll be able to answer the questions of the people, hopefully uninterrupted, because the way that this went was such a wash. Mike Riley says, I'm tempted to unsubscribe right now. Why? What's happening with you guys? Okay, let's see. Neil says Biden comes across as presidential. Trump just behaves like a greedy businessman who would sell his own grandma if he had to. Totally. I think that Biden, though, got in his own way several times by doing this thing where he was like smiling and laughing. And I get his instinct to want to do that because what Trump is saying is so fucking egregious and frustrating. But we needed him to get a little mad. We needed him to get in there. We needed him to really have energy and power. And he didn't. He looked old and washed up. And it was frustrating. Mike says, what did you expect Biden to do? Talk over a screaming monkey throwing feces? I hate when people do things like that and speak in hyperboles, because like, at what point did I say that's what I was expecting him to do? I certainly did not expect that. Caden says, Roxy seems to understand that a lot of her fans are the Trump wrestling fans type. It's very sad to see such a lack of education and no basic understanding of policy in this chat. Cadence, what are you talking about? I think that 95% of the people in here are very, very liberal, like myself. I mean, send bunnies if you're voting for Joe Biden. I think literally all of us are massive, massive Biden supporters. Cadence, I'm surprised to hear you say that. It's like so not the case. And I tell people that anybody here who is full of love in their hearts and is not full of hate is welcome to be here. But I'm just talking about from a debate perspective last night, watching this. I know that Biden's camp was very happy with his performance, but I don't think that they should be as happy because regardless of what my friends on Twitter were saying, which obviously were all pro-Biden because that's who I associate with, I felt he did a pretty weak job. And that's not 100% his fault because there was a lack of moderation, which is not 100% the moderator's fault because there was a lack of respect, obviously, from Donald Trump. Yeah. And I do like wrestling, but that doesn't mean that I like Trump because he can actually choke on a barrel of dicks. Just to be completely candid about the situation. Ant Money says this chat seems to be pro-Biden. No, of course. Just because everybody here, the truth is everybody here knows how pro-Biden I am. So that's why I'm loving all of this for right now. Brittany Parker, Legaultland, Mike Riley, Garrett Lee, Glenn Caesar, Rob Fishback, Juan Mendez, Rami Amr, Simply Emily, Jake Yakavetta, Regain Turner, Cody, Spidey Sensei, Garth McMurray, all of the Zadius Smith, Demo Katabe, Thunder God Cairo, Chris Martinez, Corbin, Matt Link, Mickey Bell, Anthony Strader, Scuba Steve Films, Manny Gonzalez, yes, Twinkle Star, yes to all of the people, Leonardo, Ryan Payne. I'm seeing all of you guys in here. Those of you who share my heart and sentiment, and I appreciate that. I don't know where the misconception was that this was a bunch of Trump-loving chatters, but it's just not the way that it goes here. DK just got here. What are we doing bunnies for? We're doing bunnies for Biden. Bunnies for Biden. What's up? Yeah, I'm just talking about the performance last night. And in terms of who I thought performed better, I thought they both performed like trash. I thought that Joe Biden's trash, though, was something that might make a good president. And Donald Trump's trash was just trash. The biggest thing that we have to talk about, of course, and everybody is talking about this, is the lack of ability to denounce white supremacy. How are we not going to address that as a country who is in the biggest racial fight of our lives, as a country who is here standing up for Black Lives Matter, and people are out protesting in the streets and giving it everything they've got. And we have a president right now who is our current president, our commander in chief, Donald Trump, who is running for re-election, who told white supremacists to stand by. Stand by. What does stand by mean? That seems to be the question right now. Well, stand by means hold tight. Because Donald Trump is not going to denounce the Proud Boys, the KKK, white supremacy, because he is part of the problem. The only people, and this is so true, and anybody who wants to at me on this, I don't know where you're even coming from. There's only one kind of person that will not denounce white supremacy. There is only one, and it's white supremacists. The only people who won't say that they denounce white supremacy, which is literally all he had to say, just say out loud the words, I denounce white supremacy. The only people who won't say that are white supremacists. It's nobody else. So that was highly, more than just concerning. It was not shocking to hear because he is very consistent in his lack of ability to denounce white supremacy. but it was disturbing nonetheless. And to me, and Legault, I see you saying this too, stand by, hold tight, sounds like a threat. It sounds like we've got something coming down the pipeline. We've got something planned. That was fucking horrifying. Now, it was interesting today to hear all the people in his camp come out and say, what are you talking about? He very clearly denounced white supremacy. What fucking debate were you watching? Because that's obviously not what took place. They were like, they said, do you denounce, will you denounce white supremacy? And he said, sure. Number one, you guys know I hate the fucking word sure. It is the most lackluster word in the English language. Sure? That doesn't sound very positive. If somebody asked me, will you right here, right now denounce white supremacy? Absolutely, yes, I will. I'm denouncing white supremacy. I hate white supremacists. I think they fucking suck. There should be no such thing as white supremacy, and those people who are white supremacists should be punished. Sure. But then you can't just say sure, because that'd be like saying to somebody, will you apologize? And you say sure. Is that an apology? No, you have to literally say the words, I'm sorry. That's the apology. So him not being able to verbalize or repeat, and him being like, what is the group called? What do you want me to say? Who are they? And Joe Biden and Wallace both were like, white supremacists. What do you mean? Who's the group? That's who we're talking about in this conversation. It's the white supremacists. And yeah, it was really truly the biggest takeaway of the entire show was that we currently have a president of the United States who will not denounce white supremacy. So there's that. I wonder if in the next debate he's going to say something on it. I think that was like one of the more egregious things we've seen him do so far. The other thing that really fucked with me and touched my soul and made me almost tear up was when we were talking about Beau Biden and him saying that his son was not a loser. This was really, really fucked up because, well, number one, for anybody who doesn't know, Joe Biden has experienced an extreme amount of loss, but Beau Biden being at the very top of that list, losing your son, they say that it's just not supposed to go that way. The parents are not supposed to die after their children, especially losing him as young as he was. And he was a veteran, and he died, I believe, of brain tumor. And it was fucking so wrong and disrespectful for Donald Trump to claim that he didn't know who Beau Biden was. He had no idea who Beau Biden was. He said, I don't know who that is, but about your other son, and then pivoted to attack his other son who has struggled with drugs in the past. But pause on that for a second, because Donald Trump, not only has it been discussed many times that you have used drugs in your past, but your son as well it's speculated that he's been using drugs for years as well. And Biden did not come after Donald Trump's family. And I thought that was the really respectful thing to do, because it's not their families that are running for office. And if you have a question about somebody's family member that would prevent them from being the best president, then maybe that's one thing. But to just attack somebody on stage publicly, somebody's son who struggled with drug usage, what the fuck does that have to do with the presidency? It was just so disrespectful. And then again, to not say anything, to say he had no idea who Beau Biden was. The last thing you want is to feel like your kids are forgotten, especially when they're have fought for this country. And that was disgusting and disturbing. And I was so I not denounce white supremacy because he's a white supremacist. I wasn't expecting him to go there with Beau Biden. I don't know why I was surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was. Ryan Nilsson, my dear friend in the chat, says, my mom went to school with Beau Biden. Wow, I didn't know that, Ryan. Did she know him? Any thoughts on him? That was a really, really, really tough part of the night. There were other tough moments of the night too. Just to watch Biden get bullied like that was challenging. I'm pretty sure this is what I tweeted out. Like we were, I don't know, maybe half an hour into it. And I said, wait, did I just hear that right? Did President Donald Trump just turn to Vice President Joe Biden and say, you're a number two? Because Joe Biden was listing things. He was like, number one, number two. And I'm pretty positive that Donald Trump said, you're a number two, which was, I mean, are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking serious? That you are on the biggest stage on the in the United States right now. You have millions and millions of eyes and ears on you, and you guys are talking about why you'll make the best president of the United States, and you're going to spend any seconds being like, no, you're poopy. What is happening? What the fuck is happening? Ryan said she did know him. He tragically passed away the same day as my grad party. Wow, that's awful. That's awful. That part of it just was like so gutting, so gutting to watch. There were so many bummers, but one of the biggest bummers was I feel like because Biden was not able to get his points across, and Trump didn't have any points, this 90 minutes felt like a waste of our time because we were not able to get into policies. Like, what are we going to do about COVID? What are we going to do about violence in our cities? What are we going to do about police brutality? What are we going to do about BLM? What are we going to do about the economy? And we were so caught up in that's the wrong number, this is the wrong number, semantics. We were not able to hear either of these presidents' plans for the next 4 years. What's your plan? Because I don't know what it is. Your plan is unclear to me based on the fact that you didn't lay it out. Now, Donald Trump didn't lay it out because he doesn't have one. And Joe Biden didn't lay it out because he was unable to, because Donald Trump was so much louder than he was, that he wasn't even able to like get there thought process wise. I know that some people were happy about this. Some people were not happy about this tweet that I put out last night. But like, I really, truly feel like Elizabeth Warren would have not let him do what he did last night. I feel like she would have fucking annihilated him. She's so well-spoken. It's ridiculous. She commands attention. She's got that energy. And Biden doesn't have that. And you can tell he doesn't have the respect of the president. Nobody has the respect of the president. But Donald Trump knew he could walk all over Joe Biden last night, and therefore he did. Let's see. Intelligence Cycle says, hey, Roxy, hope you're doing well. I didn't watch the debate in its entirety. From the clips shown, it's more of a debacle minstrel show than anything. It was certainly a debacle. It's not really debate, as we didn't get to hear them really debate. But again, everybody blaming the moderator. I don't know that it's 100% his fault because I don't know what more he fully could have done. It's tough. Leonard Kim in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you, Leonard Kim, for your awesome support. He says, hey, Roxy, rocking the headband. Love the look. Thanks, man. That presidential debate was rough. Keep being the shining star that you are, no matter how grim. We have to hope that there's a better future waiting for us at the end of the tunnel. I truly believe there is. I've been saying this whole time that I feel like Donald Trump is going to win. I'm starting not to feel that way because I have to believe in this country's ability to see what an actual piece of shit he is. And I don't know how to phrase that kinder. That's literally the kindest I can phrase this. In every single area, he's a piece of shit. Let's break it down. He doesn't admit that any part of COVID is his fault. When we look at every other country that's doing better than us, what he says is the reason they're doing better than us is because they are lying about their numbers, not because they possibly actually could have a better grip on this than America does, because no way, we're the greatest country on the planet. So instead of taking any accountability for the fact that we have not made it clear from the president of the United States that wearing a mask can save lives, instead of saying, right here, right now, I'm going to let every single person at home know that Dr. Fauci was absolutely right. And every doctor that you speak to who says wearing masks saves lives, they actually are accurate. You guys need to wear a mask. That would make a massive difference because you know who would listen to him as the leader of the white supremacists is the white supremacists. We need people out there to know that Donald Trump believes in wearing masks, but he doesn't believe in that, which is why he continues to blame China for this. Or last night, his weird blame of India, which is fucking egregious. But that's why he continues to call this the Chinese virus, because he's taking no responsibility for the fact that everywhere else is handling this better than we are because of you, Donald Trump. Then when talking about the school system or the economy, he's making things up, saying that the economy is better now than ever. What? Where is that coming from? Where are your numbers? Where are your stats? Him saying that Joe Biden wants to shut down the economy forever. What? What does that even mean? Joe Biden's plan to boost the economy post-COVID and during COVID has been looked at by experts and been said to make more jobs and have economic success more so than whatever it is that Trump's plan is. So where is that coming from? Talking about the protests, Donald Trump has said that there is no such thing as a peaceful protest. He's deemed all protests to be riots and violent. Why is that? Is it because he's unfamiliar with peaceful protests, and when he looks at them, he deems them not to be peaceful because he only is being informed on the violent ones? If that's the case, then let's look at those violent ones. And where is the violence being incited? Is it from the peaceful protesters, or is it from law enforcement, the people who are murdering innocent people? Him trying to peg Joe Biden down last night by being like, Joe Biden won't even say the words law enforcement, law and order. Joe Biden was like, yes, I will. Law enforcement, law and order. Do I believe in law and order? Yes. Yes, I believe in law and order. What you're doing is not law and order. Law and order means that when people murder people, they get charged for it. Law and order. You are no law, disorder, chaos. But I almost wish that Joe Biden could speak like this. Like, not like me, because obviously I wouldn't get fucking voted for because I speak like a trucker. But if he could be like, what you're saying is stupid shit because that doesn't make sense. So here's what I'm saying. And would you shut up, man? We need like a little more. Although the presidential part of it is good for him because it will have him get more moderates. But at the same time, you just want him to come out and like fucking swing, you know? Bear Hudson says, if you cannot denounce white supremacy, then you do not to be president. I think probably you do not deserve to be president. I am asking undecided voters to please vote for the person who will bring empathy to the presidency. BLM, Breonna Taylor. Yeah, Bear, we've been talking about this on the show today. Totally. And I saw people say, I think it was Ava DuVernay who posted and said, if you are undecided, it's because you're racist and scared of saying that. Like nervous to say that. But that's what it is. Let's take from the other side for a second. Let's hear what we're seeing. Paul Nolasco says, okay, that's not true. He agrees with peaceful protests. Damn, Roxy, all your points are skewed. You need to stop watching mainstream media. No, I just watched the debate. Is that mainstream media? I literally watched the debate, and that's what he said. Seriously, I'm hearing all your points, and you're so wrong. Interesting that you think that, Paul. Would love to hear more about when you believe Donald Trump has said that he believes in peaceful protests. And I would love to hear more about what you think Donald Trump believes causes violence in protests. And I would love to hear at what point you think that I've referenced the mainstream media as opposed to made my own opinion based on what I watched, which is what I did. I also think I've been very fair today in talking about the fact that I believe that Joe Biden had the weaker debate strategy last night and that Donald Trump's strategy was stronger because I did watch. And yet the debate was on mainstream media, so I did watch that. Just curious. Explain yourself. Let me know what it is that you actually think. And also people who have questions, comments, concerns, things they want read out loud, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see. Ace Money said Biden should have pointed out that both Jared and Ivanka are not qualified for the government positions when Trump mentioned that Hunter getting paid by the Ukrainian gas company despite being qualified in the area. They only have their jobs because of nepotism. Ace Money, I think he didn't want to do that because I don't think he was trying to bring anybody's family members into it because it's kind of disrespectful and fucked up. But yeah, maybe he should have, because sometimes you can only fight dirt with dirt. And I know when they go low, we go high, but sometimes you go so high that you're not even able making your points anymore, and you're not fighting back the way that you need to. So I feel you, Ace Money, on that. I definitely feel you. Gingerbread in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, I know this means so little, but it helps me believe Trump won't win. Joe's tweets have more likes. There's a Twitter called @Trump_regrets. It's a Twitter dedicated to people who voted for Trump that regret doing so. Tons and tons of people regret it. We'll see. I know people who regret it too that voted for Trump. And yeah, I don't know that it means anything that he has more likes, because the people who vote for Trump, a lot of them aren't even on Twitter. It's like, it's just a tough way to gauge things. It's how a lot of people gauged it last time, and clearly it was not accurate. Cinema Garia says, Preach-Rocks, would be cool to have you on Impolite Truths with Dorina and John. They can have people call in during debates, even just for a few minutes. Winston was on last night for a few, and the whole show rules. I'm so glad. Impolite Truths is awesome with my girl Dorina Ariano and John Roca. This is unrelated, but also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Ryan White says, hey, Roxy, did you see Jay Washington on The Weakest Link last night? He was great. Excited for the World Girls tonight and your 200th quarantine episode tomorrow. I did not see, but I did see commercials, and I root for Jay so hard in everything he does. So thank you for pointing that out. And also, yes, to the World Girls tonight. Cannot wait. 6 p.m. Pacific time on youtube.com/The World Girls. For anybody who doesn't know, we are giving Bottle Rockets a whirl tonight, and it's definitely our best episode yet. So make sure you watch it. There is quite the scream. There's quite the scream that happens during it. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat here right now. Trump's strategy wasn't stronger. It was chaos, says Zeno Hour. A lot of people are saying that too, Zeno Hour. It's different when Trump's kids are in a position of government power. Reagan, I agree that it would have been within his right to bring it up because of that, because they're not just at home. It was also crazy to watch the difference between how Joe Biden's wife and how Donald Trump's wife greeted them afterwards. If you guys haven't seen that, Joe Biden's wife like leaps and gives him a huge hug, and Trump's wife just like, they kind of just like rub each other's back for a second and just pose for pictures. It was so fucking ridiculous. Oh, interesting. Megalo Blazeman says only 4% of Americans have Twitter. Even less are active on Twitter. Yeah, that's why you just can't use it as the deciding like it's not a good indication. It's just not. Yeah, it's challenging. This debate was bad. Yes, Almosis, you and I are on the same page about that. I think everybody in here is on the same page about that. The fact that the debate was absolute trash and garbage. And I'm excited for the vice presidential debate. I think that it will be a stronger debate. It will be really cool to see Kamala on stage. I know that there's a lot of mixed feelings about her, but I feel like she'll be able to knock her points home, and especially the fact that they're not going to be talking over each other as much. At least I don't believe that to be true. I think we can really get out what the Democratic policy and plan is via Kamala Harris, because she'll be able to take that time to actually explain things, and she's extremely well spoken. So I think that will be maybe the most important debate of this entire election. The town hall will probably be very large too, and of course the last debate is the closest to the election. I don't know that anybody at that point will still be undecided. It's kind of crazy to me at this point that anybody is still undecided, but I guess they are. Broken Blue in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar said, I watched Philip DeFranco and saw that a juror in the Breonna case has spoken up saying the AG made them feel as if arresting the cops wasn't really an option. Plus, body cam footage is backing up the boyfriend's story and shows the cops going back into the crime scene. Yeah, I know. I've been seeing this as well. The juror thing is interesting because it's kind of what my dad was talking about, the fact that if the AG wanted them to know that arresting the cops was an option, it wouldn't have been that hard to convince. So clearly the AG had ulterior motive here and didn't think that that was the right choice. The boyfriend's story has been really underplayed in all of this. and talking about the fact that the cops did not announce themselves, that they did no-knock warrant in. And I think it would be really interesting to see what did happen there if we are able to ever see that. Thank you for those points, Broken Blue. Also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. G. Smith says, what Trump did wasn't debating. This isn't movie fights. Trump was just belligerent and spewed lies, I think maybe he meant stooping to Trump's level. He helped show America who Trump was. Damn, that's long. I better up the amount. LOL. G. Smith, I really appreciate the amount and your support. You're awesome. I think that when I am talking about this and looking at who won it, I'm with you guys that, to me, the style of Trump's debate was trash. I don't like listening to somebody yell like that. I would much prefer listening to somebody like Joe Biden. But for a lot of America, what we see is they need somebody who they feel like can who could assort authority. What is the word? I'm like literally having a brain fart moment right now. Whatever, show authority in these times. And Joe Biden was not showing that. And the people that we need to win during these debates are the people who are undecided and assert authority. Thank you, guys. Holy crap. What the fuck just even happened there? He needs to assert authority. And people are going to be impressed by Trump's debate style, which shut down Biden, as opposed to Biden, who was not able to shut down Trump. And again, I'm not blaming that fully on him. It's also on the moderator. It just was what it was. And so I'm with you that he wasn't debating, but he was performing. And that performance is something that I think a lot of Americans appreciate. It's the reason why, like, testosterone has a fucking say in any of this. People want him to be like the biggest man in the room and the alpha dog and the guy on top. That's what a lot of people are looking for. Not me, maybe not you guys, but a lot of people. G. Smith says, I agree, Rox. Yeah, it's tough. It's fucking tough. And Trump is losing in the polls. That is absolutely true. But forget you not that Trump was losing in the polls against Hillary as well. So how do we trust that? We really, truly can't. That's the fucking thing. That's the scariest part. We can continue to talk about these debates if you guys would like. Leave super chats, Streamlabs, all that stuff. If you're watching after the fact, make sure you like this video. Or if you're watching live right now, leave a comment after. I read every single one, so I'd love to hear who you guys feel like won this debate. We definitely were all losers in this debate, but what was the most egregious thing that happened? What was the best thing that you thought happened? What did this debate really say to you? I would love to know what you guys are thinking. On to a little bit of movie news. We'll hit some of this briefly before we get out of here. This was an exciting piece of news. We need some fuck yeah news on today's show because the debate was a whole big fuck no. Iman Vellani is going to be playing the title role of Miss Marvel in the new Marvel series for Disney+. This was kind of cool because we keep seeing big name after big name, and Iman Vellani is a up-and-comer. She has, I don't even know if she has any credits. They're saying the studio is tapping a newcomer for the Disney Plus series, which is going to be based on the comic book character, and that Marvel and the streamer recently named Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falah and Sharmeen Abaid Chinoy and Mira Menon as directors on the project. Forgive me for the butchering of names, as I sometimes do that. So Miss Marvel centers on Kamala Khan, a Pakistani-American teen based in New Jersey. And Miss Marvel first appeared in 2014 as Marvel's first Muslim character to star in her own title, and she'll become Marvel Studios' first on-screen Muslim hero, which is really awesome. As we're talking about hate and ignorance and all the things that are going on in the world, a lot of people's first, experience with somebody or first interaction is because what superheroes do. And if you don't know many Muslim people, to be able to see, and if you are Muslim or you don't know many Muslim people, to be able to see somebody Muslim on the screen, to put a face to the word, the name, it really does matter. Here is a picture of her. So pretty exciting stuff. What a little cutie. Excited to see what they do with it. And I think this is a good victory for Marvel and for people who have been waiting a really long time to see representation of themselves on screen. So fuck yeah to this. Absolutely. And Murderana says there's a short movie she directed on Vimeo. Oh, interesting. A lot of people in here are excited about it. Brittany says, oh, she's a baby. Yeah, she is. She's a total little cutie babe. And she's young as hell and she's ready to go. And I think that she probably had to audition the crap out of this in order to get cast, because if you're an up and comer, then you're not going to get cast if you're not phenomenal. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Also in the world of entertainment news, Borat 2 is coming to Amazon Prime. We talked about this before. I believe actually it was my boy Jeff Snyder that broke the story that Borat 2 was being filmed in Los Angeles, and not only had been filmed, but had already been screened for some executives. It's been acquired by Amazon Studios, which is exciting because a lot of us already have Amazon Prime. So we will be able to watch this one. Wow, I can't believe that this sequel is coming now in 2020, as the first one came out in 2006, a 14-year gap. That's pretty massive, but I am so ready for it. It's going to be premiering late October, which is literally right around the corner. That's less than a month away. And it's going to be premiering for people in the 240 countries and territories that Amazon Prime has offered. So a lot of us in here will be able to see it and to talk about it and break it down. And I could not be more excited, as I love Sacha Baron Cohen and I love the first Borat movie, and I cannot wait to see this next one. Let's go back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar says, hello, Roxy. Love you as always. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope you and the Rockstars band have an awesome, as awesome of a World Girl Wednesday as you possibly can. Bunnies to you all. Excited to see tonight's World Girls give bottle rockets a whirl. I hope you all get lots of fuck yeah news that lift your spirit and keep you smiling all day and night long. Congrats, Texas teacher. Remember, Roxy and Rockstars, that you're kind, you're smart, you're important, so you are worthy. Peace, love, and hugs. Glenn, what an awesome sentiment. Just trying to fill the world with a lot of love today instead of all the hatred that we saw during the debates last night. Because once again, here at Live at the Roxy, I'll say it loud, I'll say it proud, I denounce white supremacy. I am not okay with the Proud Boys. I am not okay with the KKK. And in fact, one step further, not only am I not okay, they should not exist, and I'll do what I can to make sure that they don't. A great success. High five. All right. As we are getting out of here, guys, please remember that tomorrow, Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to be live for our 200th episode. 200th episode during quarantine of Live at the Roxy. That's 200 mother effing days in a row. 200 days in a row that we have gone live and you guys have been here with me. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Please, in the meantime, leave your comments here. Give a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithms. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. So far confirmed for tomorrow, we've got Steph, we've got Darina, we've got Winston, we've got my brother. Let me know if there's somebody else that you want me to ask on for tomorrow's show. I'm trying to bring back the people that we've had on the show multiple times. Leave anything that you want read out loud tomorrow in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, or of course, always in the super chat. But the great thing about Streamlabs is you can leave it at any time, even if you're watching this after the fact or you're not able to join us live. Sir Joker 40 in the chat says, congratulations on 200 Eve. Yeah, it's crazy because it's not the 200th episode of Live at the Roxy, but this is the 200th during quarantine, which even seems like a bigger deal than anything. Totally wild. Oh, man. And also tonight, we will be in the chat with you guys as we watch the World Girls give bottle rockets a whirl. It's my favorite episode yet. We finally got the final cut last night, and it looks sick. Frank went above and beyond on this one. Is my brother in the chat with us right now? I think I just saw him say something. Or maybe you guys are just... Oh, he says, I'm ready. Did I tell you that I'm having you on? I don't even think I said anything to you yet. But Jet also, I believe, is going live today. Jet, let us know on his own channel. I think very soon, for the first time, he's got a new show and he's working on it. And I think he's going up today. I received a text message from him. No, he says nope. Okay, I made that up. He's not going live today. He'll be going live soon. He'll keep you guys posted. We can talk about it on the show tomorrow. But I'm just going to have people pop in for 5-10 minutes. You guys let me know if there's anybody else that you want to see. So much stuff going on. And I just love you guys. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it always. And I will see you tonight for the World Girls, youtube.com/the World Girls, 6 p.m. And tomorrow for the 200th episode, live at the Roxy at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Be there or just be. Cool.